Addison Rae, headphones on, let's talk about it.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Not everyone is careful with your personal information, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the US. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year by visiting lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show, guys. We got a good show for you today. We have Addison Rae. Addison Rae has dropped a new song. This song is called Headphones On. And honestly, let's just get into it. Let's talk about it, guys. Because, one of the things that I really love so far with Addison Rae's, music career, or I guess you could say the rebooting of her career, the rebranding. Well, I think this is actually a nice rebrand, I'm not going to lie, guys. I listen to songs like Diet Pepsi. I've listened to songs like, High Fashion. And I think, them singles might not be some of the most groundbreaking stuff that I've heard. But I will say, I think, if you want a little bit of new taste, etc., I think Addison Rae really provides that. And today we're going to talk about a song called Headphones On. Let's just get started. Let's talk about the beat. Guys, I really do enjoy this instrumental. I really enjoy this production. And let's just get into it. So, I think, the production is very chill. It's that chill pop beat, but I think it's that chill kind of bedroom pop vibe, I think, done right. High Fashion, in my opinion, the only thing that this song was missing was a beat that had a lot to it. A beat that, had these little elements, like, for example, I love the keys on this song. I love it when they, sprinkle these little keys on there. For some reason, the way they're mixed, the way they sound is just so good. It's so great, and it just adds so much variety.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV Insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Into the pop beat when you're listening to it. So that's a really nice thing too, and I really do enjoy that fact. I love the little keys. I like the drums. I think the drums are actually mixed pretty well in my opinion. And I really love the piano. I think the piano and the synths really collide really well together. I think, this is actually really done really well. There's even moments where the synths really show out on this track, really pop out when you're listening to them. And, I just kind of listen to this and I go, I really enjoy this beat. I think it's a great beat. This beat's like if your grandma made you a homemade chicken pot pie, etc. I mean, this beat is absolutely fantastic. Every little element, in my opinion, I think sounds really good. I love the moments where the synths can kind of just do their own thing, can really just, provide a really great, song. So I think all of these elements really come together. And I'm going to say this, I think this is one of the better Addison Rae beats. I mean, to go from, beats like Diet Pepsi, which Diet Pepsi, was such a lackluster beat, and then go from, High Fashion, where High Fashion, in my opinion, that beat was so basic. It was such a basic pop beat. I think this is a beat where it has all of the elements to make it sound really good. It has all of the little elements, these little moments where I just want to go back and listen to the song over and over and over again. It definitely has all of that. The ending on this beat is such fantastic. It's so good, which we will get to the ending of the song. I actually have a really big thing to say about the ending of this track, but I will say for the ending of the beat, fantastic. I think this production absolutely hits. I think it really, shows Addison Rae's ear for good production, And maybe, Addison Rae was listening to maybe the feedback, maybe the criticism of her last song. Maybe she was listening to us and said, all right, I'll actually, really add a lot to these beats. So I really do enjoy that. But let's move on now and talk about Addison Rae's verse. The first verse was really good. I like the vocals. I like this kind of chill approach. I like it for the first verse. We'll get into the second one. But the first one, I will say overall has a nice vibe to it. The vocals are really good. The singing actually pretty much hits when you're listening to it, which really adds a nice touch to the song. I mean, Lord Goddamn Mighty, which is pretty fire. I like the vocals. I like how everything is sounding with the first. I like the overall flow, in my opinion, too. And that's going to lead off to my next point, which is this hook. I think this hook is actually really good. I'm surprised. The only thing this hook is missing is when it's being played 2 or 3 times throughout the song. I really wish those 2 or 3 times we could have had a vocal switch up. We could have had a flow switch up, So that's the only thing about the beat that I don't really enjoy. But everything else fully comes together with this hook. I think this first half of the hook really hits, and I love it when that beat fully unwraps itself, when that beat really fully comes out. That's really fire too, in my opinion. So yeah, hey, all of the elements really come through, in my opinion. So that's really, really fire. Guys, we have to talk about the second verse, though. Not everything is positive on this show. And surprisingly, I didn't even want to get this negative, but I do have to get this negative. The second verse. This is where the song takes a downward spiral. Because the second verse sounds too much like the first one. And I think I complained about that on High Fashion, too. But we're running into the same problem where I think, the second verse, yes, lyrically, it's obviously different lyrically, but it sounds the exact fucking same. And that just kind of bores me. I'm not going to lie. That makes the song incredibly boring at this point, at this moment. So that really sucks, in my opinion. Guys, I'm really sorry. If you're an Addison Rae fan, honestly, it's time to click off. But if you're not an Addison Rae fan, here's what I really got to say about the second half of the song. Because the first half, in my opinion, was so good that I'm really disappointed about the second half. So let's get into that. Second verse sounds too much like the first one, first of all. And then this hook comes on, and the hook just stays the same, the overall. So that really sucks too. But then the ending of this song comes on. And then that's where I go, what the hell are we doing? This song had such a good vibe to it. And I would honestly even, give her these second or 3 hooks. I would even give her the benefit of the doubt on that. But I cannot give you the benefit of the doubt on this. What the fuck was that second half? The vocals, the auto-tune, the vocal effects just go out the water. They go into the water. They go into hell. I really hate the second half. I really hate how these vocals sound. I really hate how, when I listen to the song, that second half, that ending just ruins the whole fucking song. Why was that at the ending? You could have just took that off. You could have just let the beat play out. The beat was so good, you could just let the fucking beat play out. Holy shit. Guys, overall, when we talk about Addison Rae, headphones on. I really like the beginning. I like the hook. I like the verse. I like the overall vibe of this song, but I think the second half is very lacking. And it's very telling that it's very lacking. And it's always that thing I say. TikToker type pop songs, hey. I can never escape them because, we're talking to literally a TikToker, and sadly does that TikTok format. The first half was such a good, strong start, and then the second half just doesn't have a lot to it. So, yeah, that's really disappointing, and then the ending was just really bad. Overall, I'm going to have to give this song a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications. We're dropping new content every single day. I'll see y'all later. You have a good one. Yeah, guys. really disappointed about this second half of the song. I really wish that the second half didn't have to end like that, but hey, it's what it is, guys. I'll see you later. You have a good one. Bye.